Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. This is HD Starcraft, and I'm here for another Heart of the Swarm broadcast. And today, I'm going to bring to you guys a game of a player that I don't think I've casted before on my YouTube channel, but he is one of the up and rising stars in Starcraft 2. His name is Vortix. He was formerly part of Karante 3 or Karante, but now he's now part of Team Mouse Sports, I believe, recently moving over with his brother. And for those of you guys who don't know, his older brother is Lucifron, who's also a very accomplished Starcraft player, plays Terran, in fact. But I would agree with most people when they say that Vortix has surpassed his older brother. I think most agree now that Vortix is one of the beastliest Zergs. He is from Spain, and he is so talented. He actually, I don't remember the tournament in question, but he went all the way down with Stefano and Lenok and some of the world's finest Zergs in like an epic ZvZ. I don't know if Lenok was there, but I know Stefano was there for sure. So he is an amazing Zerg player. And speaking of ZvZs, he is going to be playing up against Liquid TLO. He is going to be the red at the top left-hand corner of the map. So I haven't casted a lot of ZvZs or a lot of mirror matchups, but I do obviously don't want to completely neglect it. And for those of you guys who do want a good, like, just a way to see how the pros play a high-level Zerg versus Zerg, or a high-level Terran versus Terran, or any matchup that I might not cast as often, then this is a good opportunity for you guys, because you guys can see the dynamics and the build orders. ZvZ is still very much an explosive matchup, as most mirror matchups are. I think Terran versus Terran would be the most least volatile of the three matchups. PvP and ZvZ still can be very, very frantic. They can be crazy, and I think the optimal strategy still, even to this day, is Zergling Baneling. And even though it's old school, it's classic, it's the way to get yourself the most advantageous start in a Zerg versus Zerg. If you don't go Banelings in ZvZ, a lot of times you will just straight die to mass Zergling Baneling. You need Banelings to defend against Zerglings and Banelings, and it's kind of a cycle that it repeats itself. So you really are kind of forced into Zergling Baneling. You can try to go Roaches, but when you go Roaches in ZvZ, you basically pigeonhole yourself into one base or two bases, and you can't really push out an attack because of fear of a counterattack from Zerglings and Banelings. So anyways, both of these guys did open up with an expansion, which is, you know, some Zergs will open up with 14 gas or 11 gas or something more aggressive, but hatching is also quite standard as well, and I would expect to see a Baneling nest getting thrown down pretty soon here. Swarm hosts were pretty popular in ZvZ, and I still think they're used quite a bit as well. The only thing is Mutalisks have become better than Swarm hosts. Nowadays you will see Mutalisks just flying around and sniping units, and they're so fast and agile now in Heart of the Swarm that most Zerg versus Zerg matchups tend to go into mutas, and sometimes sometimes you can actually go from muta play into swarm host play from there. I know it's kind of weird, and it's like, well, if an army already has a bunch of mutas, why would I go swarm host? But they are a pretty good unit, because if you have a lot of mutas, you can snipe out the enemy's overseer, and then your swarm hosts become infinitely more valuable because they can't be scouted by mutas. Or by any other Zerg unit for that matter. So it is kind of it's an interesting strategy, and you know, I would love to see a long ZvZ here. We'll see what happens. They are somewhat rare, but you never know. We do have a Baneling nest coming up from TLO. In fact, that's a pretty delayed Baneling nest. Vortix actually hasn't added on a Baneling nest at all. He is just going with straight double Evo chambers, so he's going to be getting a ton of upgrades here, and I guess he's going to try to rely on an overwhelming number of Zerglings, but that's why Banelings are so good. They shut down Zerglings pretty well, but you know, nowadays, in today's ZvZ, a lot of players are very good at microing their Zerglings, so we'll see what happens here. The Spine Crawler is up as well. That's going to help defend these drones from Zerglings and Banelings, and oh! I don't know if TLO wanted to detonate right there. Maybe he was trying to hide some tech, and he felt like it was worth detonating a Baneling for 2 Zerglings. Typically, it's cost-effective if you can get 3 Zerglings. 2 is typically not considered worth it, but 3 is okay. I think maybe TLO didn't want to let Vortix see the layer inside, and that's why he manually detonated, or perhaps he just you know, didn't notice and it just automatically detonated. But he will kill off those 2 Zerglings, and Vortix here is not going for a layer. Yeah, he's going for a layer now, but he's going for a 3rd a little bit earlier than TLO, so it's a slight divergence in builds here. TLO will have a tech advantage about a minute, maybe less than a minute, maybe about 20 seconds earlier than Vortix, but that's not going to be very helpful if TLO loses this hatchery, and the Baneling has to detonate. It will detonate to kill 2. But 4 Zerglings, in fact more Zerglings coming in here, and you can see what Vortix is going for here is mass Zergling with +1/+1, which hasn't actually finished yet, but he is going to try to use these Zerglings. Actually great training on the Banelings right there, pro training onto those Banelings, and basically forcing them to detonate on a Zergling. And unfortunately for TLO, a little sloppy. I would have liked to see him move his Banelings instead of letting them just sacrifice themselves like that. That was a bit of a mistake, I feel. And here comes TLO coming down the south. His Zerglings are now outclassed by the blue Zerg Vortix. He doesn't have his mecha upgrades. Don't forget, Vortix kind of became famous through his ZvZ play. His ZvZ is amazingly good. So, I think TLO here might want to pull back. I don't know if he's going to commit with these Zerglings. I think he is going to retreat here. And I think that's a wise decision. There's no way he can really beat these Zerglings up when they have +1/+1 ahead of him. But the little one is going for Baneling speed, and he's going for Spire, and he's going to have a lot of mutas coming out fairly soon. On the opposition, on Vortex's side, he's going for Infestation Pit. So we are going to see mutas versus infestors here. And really, when it comes to muta versus infestor, it's all about the fungal growth, and it's all about spreading your mutas out. That was a great Baneling detonation right there from TLO. With Banelings, it doesn't really matter how many upgrades the Zerglings have, they will still die in one shot. So it's nice here for TLO to have those Banelings, and his mutas are on the way. He's got 8 mutalisks coming. Infestation Pit is now researching pathogen glands, so we are going to have infestors versus Banelings. And I don't know if Vortix is going to be able to get his infestors out in time. He doesn't even have any being constructed right now. He needs spore crawlers. He's actually making a ton of spores. About 4 or 5 are on the way. Meanwhile, he comes in and he's going to take out the Baneling eggs. Beautiful play right here from Vortix. He leaves a few Zerglings behind, but the mutas come in for TLO, and these mutas are going to shut down Vortix so hard. He is going to need a couple of spore crawlers down right now to deal with this, and I don't know if he's going to be able to get them up in time. He has 1 at the expansion over here. I know he's got more back at his other hatcheries, but this hatchery is woefully undermanned, or under-zerged, I should say. He is going to need a lot of anti-air to deal with this. His 6 infestors are coming out right now. It's all about whether or not Vortix can buy enough time to get his infestors out to deal with the mutas and the Zerglings. His spore crawlers are starting to get whittled down now by the Zerglings. Transfuse comes down. Vortix desperately trying to keep that spore crawler alive, and he cannot do it. 1 last spore remains inside the natural expansion, but all the drones are going down. And the little one, oh, just a great attack here, but he's got to be careful. There are infestors here. Great fungal on the second one. He missed, unfortunately, Vortix missed the first fungal growth. A bit of a whiff there. But I don't know if it really matters at this point. Even though he's got infestors on the field, you can see TLO is taking the time to spread his mutas out, and really just ransacking the drone line. 23 drones have gone down already, and these infested Terrans are pretty much worthless. They can't do a damn thing. They're too slow. And the mutas have already gotten the hell out of there. So 79 supply to 58 here. The little one continues to rack up the damage. He's already killed off a beastly number of drones, and he's going to continue to add to that number. 24 workers have been killed already, and the little one now can just wait outside of the Zerg base and just remuster his army and wait for another engagement. He knows he doesn't have to worry too much about infestors because most of them have expended their energy or have been killed already. Vortix trying to come in with an attack on the ground with his 2-1 Zerglings now. He has such a huge upgrade advantage on the ground with his Zerglings. That might be, oh, he cancels the hatchery too. That might be Vortex's one shot here to stay in this game. But we'll see. Infested Terrans now popping out. The Infested Terrans don't share the upgrades though, which is a bit of a crying shame. Fungal growth being used on the Banelings, forcing them to detonate. But at the end of the day, there just isn't enough anti-air here for Vortix. He's taking so much damage. 25 drones down so far. Not too many more drones have been added to the kill count yet. But as the little one continues to send more forces down here, it's looking increasingly grim. 65 supply to 86 for Vortix. He needs some kind of a break here. He needs his infestors to come out. He's got 2 on the way, and he's going to need to land some pretty money fungal growths. The only thing is nowadays with fungal growth, it takes like 4 fungals to kill off a pack of mutas, maybe even 5, with their quicker regeneration, obviously. So it's very hard now to actually kill off a pack of mutas with just bare fungal growth. And I think Vortix, I don't know what he can do here. Queen's going down, Banelings detonating on Zerglings and Infestors, and these Infestors, they just can't do anything. Fungal growths are not hitting their marks. Spore Crawler shots are, but there's a good fungal growth, but it doesn't hit the mutas, and the little one continues to rampage across Vortix's base. These Zerglings, even though they have a bunch of armor, they are deflecting a lot of the Glaive Worm shots, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, and the little one is forced his opponent to type out GG well played. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the little one with a quick and solid victory in a Zerg versus Zerg. So yeah, like I said, I do want to cast some mirror matchups from time to time. Once again, if you guys have any sweet replays, feel free to send them in to hdreplays@gmail.com. And for now, this is HD signing out.